Assalamu alaikum students. Assalamu alaikum class 7 students. First of all, you all are welcome to class 7. Okay. I will take your science class and I'm your teacher Saika. I will take your science class. I hope you all will be fine, safe and sound. Today we will start first chapter. First chapter you can see on the screen, that is heating and cooling. So before starting the chapter, I would like to say something about the chapter. What is this? Actually, this chapter concerns the concepts of heat. So what is heat? You also study in your previous classes that there is a 3 states of matter. So before explaining the states of matter, I would explain to you what is a matter. Matter can be anything which can occupy space and which have a mass. So this matter can be divided into 3 states, 3 types. And they were solid, liquid and gases. And I think you all of know the solid which are in a solid form, which have a solid framework and the shape cannot be changed. Liquid is that which can adjust in any space. Its molecules have some spaces in them and they are in liquid, for example, water. And gases you all of know that gases and the molecules are very far away to each other, so they can spread easily and they can squash easily. Okay. So in this chapter, we will study about, first of all, heating and cooling. Okay, what is heat and what is cooling? Okay, so look at the screen. You can also see. You can also see on the screen. Touch something hot and your senses immediately tell you to put your hand away. Definitely, this is our everyday example. When we touch something, immediately we came to know that how much this thing is hot and how much this thing is cold. Okay. So hotness is about the amount of heat energy an object has. So actually hotness, what is a hotness? Hotness is about the amount of heat energy. Okay. Hotness actually tells us about the heat energy, that how much heat energy is present in that object. Definitely, when you touch anything, immediately you know about with your sense organs that how much this is hot and how much this is cold. Okay, so actually this is called hotness, and hotness tells us about that how much heat energy is present in that object. Okay, now some examples are given. A spark from a firework may be very hot. You all of have seen the firework. Okay, when there is any festival in Pakistan and there is a huge firework, this happen in different places in the city. So you also have seen these firework. So a spark from a firework. You can also see this diagram. It is given in your book. These sparks do not have much heat energy. Okay. A spark from a firework may be very hot. When we look at the firework, it seems very hot. But actually what is happened, it will not hurt very much because it does not contain much heat energy. It's a very simple. If we can see the fiber. Okay, it has a spark inside it, but what is happened, actually it has not a much heat energy inside it. So however, even though a cup of tea may not be very hot, but it can still burn the tongue because it contains a lot of heat energy. So in the other example of hotness, what is that? A cup of tea. When you take a cup of tea, we also see if there is very hot tea inside the cup. Maybe cup will not be very hot, but when we take the sip of tea, we can feel the hotness of the tea. Okay, so actually hotness tells us that how much a thing has heat energy inside it. So in this chapter actually we will discuss about the heat energy, that how much heat energy is present in different objects, and how they are, and how can we, and how can it transfer from one object to another object. Okay, so you can see these two examples are given in your book. You can ask, first is a fiber and second is a hot cup of tea. Okay, so the object of this lesson is today. What is that? What do we learn in this lesson? Explain differences between heat and temperature, and we will understand what is mean by absolute zero and the Celsius and Kelvin scale. Definitely, when we want to measure the heat, definitely we need a scale. There is a very good example. Okay, so there is a very good example of your temperature. If someone is caught by fever, so definitely we use a thermometer. So what is the function of thermometer? It tells us about the temperature of your body. It tells about the hotness of your, that how much heat energy is produced in your body due to fever, and how much heat energy, and when there is a fever going to be less, the heat energy, less heat energy is shown by the thermometer. Okay, so this chapter is very important. In this chapter we will actually discuss about the heat energy, and we all of know many things have different types of heat energy inside it. For example, if we take an example of ice cubes, we all of know we put ice cubes in the fridge. So what is the importance of ice cubes? So the temperature for ice cubes will be 0 degrees centigrade. We all of know water is freeze at 0 degrees centigrade. After that, if we take an example of styrofoam, okay, styrofoam has temperature of 30 degrees centigrade. Okay, so and if we take an example of a cup of tea, so maybe a cup of tea can have heat energy of till 50 degrees centigrade. So when we discuss about the heat and heat energy, so that's why we need a scale which tells us what is temperature, what is temperature in Celsius scale, what is temperature in Kelvin scale. Okay, so I gave you a different example. Something cold, for example, we take an example of ice cubes. A good insulator, for example, a piece of styrofoam insulator. I have used a word insulator. I think you all of know what is an insulator. Insulator are those substances which allow heat to pass through it. Okay, so its good example is styrofoam. Okay, then there is a good conductor. Okay, good conductor is that a metal spoon. Okay, so metal spoon is a good which can a good example of conduction of heat, in which heat can pass through. If you put a teaspoon inside the hot cup of tea, you will experience after some time that one end of spoon is in the cup, but the other end of the spoon will be hot after some time. Why? Due to the uh, transfer of heat, due to the transfer of heat energy. Okay, now come to the next page. Okay, but you can see temperature and heat. Temperature and heat. Okay, but you can see on your screen temperature and heat. Actually, what is the temperature and heat? And what is the difference between temperature and heat? So first of all, heat and temperature are not the same. Okay, it is given in your book. If you can see on the screen, heat and temperature are not the same. Commonly, students know this thing and they take heat and temperature in a same way. So you have to keep in your mind, and this thing should be clear to you, that heat and temperature are not the same things. Now we will discuss how they are different. So first of all, this is definition of temperature, and you must hold pencils in your hands, and the things which I tell you, the definitions which I tell you, you have to underline in your book. Okay, the first is given temperature. What is a temperature? Temperature is measured of how hot or cold something is. What is a temperature? Temperature is a measure of how hot or cold something is. Okay. Actually, temperature tells us that how much a thing is very cold, and how much a thing is very hot. Okay. And I also gave an example of thermometer. Okay, when we check the fever, we put thermometer in the mouth. So thermometer tells us about the body temperature. We all of know the human body temperature always remain 37 degrees centigrade. But when we put the temperature, if a person is caught by a fever, so its temperature will be raised. Okay. So temperature actually tells us about that how a thing, yeah, how an object is very hot and how much an object is very cold. Okay. And the second important thing is that it is measured in degrees Celsius. Okay, so it is measured in degrees Celsius. For this, we use this unit C, and this is the sign of degree. C, and this is a sign of degree. So temperature is measured with a thermometer. So what is given? Temperature is measured with a thermometer. So you have to underline all these things. These are very important. First of all, temperature tells us how much an object is cold and how much an object is hot. Secondly, it is measured in degrees Celsius. Okay, and temperature is measured with the device which is called thermometer, and we all are familiar with a thermometer, that it is made by a glass, and liquid mercury is filled inside the thermometer. So because of that we can measure the temperature. Okay, I hope you understand it. Now we will discuss about the heat. Second point is that heat, because in this page we are discussing about difference between temperature and heat. So what is different? Heat is the transfer of energy. Heat is the transfer of energy from a higher temperature object to a lower temperature object. Okay, so actually what is a heat? We can see there is a sharp difference between temperature, the definition of temperature, and the definition of heat. Heat actually the transfer of energy. It is actually a transfer of energy from a higher temperature object to a lower temperature object, and it is measured in joules. What is the unit of heat? It is measured in joules or kilojoules. So what is the measurement unit of heat? Okay, it is measured in joules and kilojoules. Okay, so note in your book and underline in your book what is the difference between temperature and heat. Heat is the term of energy. Okay, transfer of energy of something from higher temperature to a lower temperature, from something higher temperature to a lower temperature. Okay, so keep in what is the definition of temperature. It tells us about that an object how much it is hot and how much it is cold. Okay, and what is the definition of heat? Heat actually tells us about the transfer of energy, that how energy, and this is a truth, that heat is transferred. Heat always pass from one object to another, because we are talking about the states of matter, and we all of know states of matter consist of three types: solids, liquids, and gases. So when we heat, if we take an example of solid, so we can take an example of a bar. Okay, if we heat up one end of steel bar, after some time you will feel the heat on the other end of the steel bar. So how this is happened? Steel bar is an example of solid. Okay, so when we heat up one end of the bar, the other end of the bar will also be heated, because the molecules will be hit to each other and the heat energy will be transferred from one end of the bar to the second end of the bar. So if we take an example of liquid, we all of know that water is water is still in normal temperature, but when we begin to heat up, okay, so what will be happen when its temperature raised to 100 degrees centigrade, it begins to boil. So it is an example of liquid. So if we take an example of gas, so gases also transfer heat. Okay, so how this is happen? Gases are squashed easily. Gases are used in CNG, in cars. Okay, gases are squashed in containers, and they use for different purposes. Okay, so there is a sharp difference between temperature and heat. Temperature tells us just about that how much a thing is hot and how much a thing is cold, but the heat is a different. Heat actually the transfer of energy, the transfer of heat energy from higher temperature to lower temperature. Okay, we can measure temperature in degrees Celsius, but we can measure heat in joules or kilojoules. Okay, so I hope you understand the difference of heat and temperature. Now we will come to this paragraph. You already know that solids, liquid and gases, these are things which I have discussed you now. You already know that solids, liquid and gases are made up of tiny particles. Yes, we all of know. We also know that all these things are made by small particles, which are solids, liquids and gases. These particles are moving about all the time. This is another important thing, tiny particle, and these particles are moving all the time. They are moving all the time. The more energy the particles have, the more they move about. Definitely, the particles which have more energy, they will move more fastly. The particles which have low energy, they will move less. They move less. Okay, so the opposite is also true as they lose energy. So what will be happen? Definitely, if they are not moving fastly, they have low energy. So actually, they are losing the energy. So they move about less. This change in energy is what heat is. So this change actually tells us what the heat is. So what is the main important thing which we have to learn? The more energy the particles have, the more they move about. So how the particles move in three states of matter. So when they get more heat energy, they move fast. When they get less energy, they move less. Okay. I hope you understand the concept of heat and temperature. Okay, now come to the last part. It is given as a solid cools, heat energy is removed. The particles will move more and more slowly until they stop moving altogether. Yes, this is true. I have given you an example of steel bar. Okay, when you heat up one end of steel bar, you will feel the heat at the other end of the steel bar due to the movement of particles. We all of know in solid the particles are strictly attached to each other. Okay, so when one end is began to heat up, so the one layer of molecules heat up the other layer. So the other layer heat up the next layer. So the next layer heat up the next layer. So slowly and gradually the other end of the steel bar will be heated up. But when you stop the heat, okay, so when you stop to heat up the end of bar, okay, and you put the steel bar in a normal position, so you will feel after some time, it will take some time, slowly and gradually it will begin to cool down. So what is this experience? It tells us about it. This is very clear. It tells us about that as a solid cools, heat energy is removed. Definitely when we stop to heat the one end of a steel bar. So the heat energy will be stopped, and because of that, this solid steel bar began to cool. And when it began to cool, it means heat energy will be removed. And the particles which were moving very fastly inside it, slowly, they will be stopped. Okay, they will be stopped their moving. So this process is called heat energy. Okay, next the important term is absolute zero. This next term is called absolute zero. Absolute zero. So you can see on the screen absolute zero. What is this term? The temperature at which the particles stop moving is called absolute zero. Underline in your book, this is the definition of absolute zero. Okay, the temperature at which the particles stop moving. As I told you, you also discussed this example. As I solid cools, I have given you an example of steel bar. Okay, so as a solid cools, heat energy is removed. The particles will move more and more slowly until they stop moving altogether. So I have given you example of steel bar. So when steel bar is heated, it will be heat up on the other end, and when we stop the heating, it will be cool slowly and gradually, and until the particles stop moving inside the steel bar. So the point at which the temperature at which the particles stop moving, that point is called absolute zero. What is absolute zero? Okay, if there is any object, and when we actually it is happen only in solids. So when we stop the heat, okay, for that object, you will see the temperature at which the particles stop moving, that is called absolute zero. It's a good example in your everyday life. When you go to the kitchen and when you cook something in your and when you cook something food in the pan, you will see due to stove heat it will become hot, and your cook will be and your food will be ready. But when you stop the stove, after some time you will see that slowly the pan will be cold. The pan will be the heat energy will be removed from the pan. Okay, so the that point, okay, the temperature, okay, so when they cool down, the temperature at which the particles stop moving, that is called absolute zero. I hope you understand the concept of absolute zero. Okay, now you will see absolute zero is the temperature at which a material has no heat energy. So actually absolute zero is a point at that is a point at which there is no heat energy inside the object. Okay, I hope you understanding. So also underline in your book, this definition is very important. The temperature at which the particles stop moving is called absolute zero. Absolute zero is the temperature at which a material has no heat energy. Is that clear? Okay, come to the next part. For scientific work, it is convenient to use a temperature scale starting at absolute zero. Okay, so for scientific work, if we want to do any scientific work, definitely we need scales. So we have to start our work from temperature scale, and that temperature scale should be starting from absolute zero. And absolute zero is that point at which point the particles stop moving. The temperature scale is called the Kelvin scale. Okay, so the temperature which is started from absolute zero, that temperature scale is called Kelvin scale. It starts at absolute zero and has degrees which are the same size and degrees on the Celsius scale. This temperature is minus 273 degree centigrade. So keep in your mind what is a temperature Celsius scale, that is minus 273 degree. Okay, now we will see this diagram and I hope you will understand the concept. Okay, you can see This diagram is also given in your book. Two temperatures are given. First is temperature given in Celsius scale, and second is called given Kelvin scale. And about Kelvin scale, we know about this thing, that the absolute temperature scale starting at absolute zero, this temperature scale is called the Kelvin scale. So what is the absolute zero temperature scale? That is equal to 273 degree. Okay. So you can see here is given sun's surface, and sun's surface temperature is given in Celsius scale, means 6000 degrees centigrade. Okay. And you have to okay, you can see 6000 plus 273 means 6000 plus 273. Definitely we have to change Kelvin scale, and Kelvin scale started from 270. So when we add the 6273 is in Kelvin, and Kelvin scale always shown in K. Okay. Then there is a light bulb 25 degrees centigrade at 273. It will be equal to 2773 Kelvin. Then 1000 degrees centigrade, you will add 273, it will be equal to 1273. 200 centigrade, you will add 273 equal to 473. 100 degrees centigrade, then you will equal to 273 equal to 373. 0 degree centigrade add 273, it is equal to 273 Kelvin. Now this is different. It is given minus 100 degree centigrade, and we will add plus 273. And we also discuss in D1 maths, we also study about the indices when one number in negative form and the other number in a positive form. So what will be happen? We will take a decision. We will do the subtraction, but we will put the sign of a positive bigger value. Okay, so minus 100 degree centigrade and plus 273 degree. We will subtract the value and we will find the 173K, and definitely 273 is in the plus form, so the sign will be positive, which we do not require to mention here. Okay, and the last one is minus 273 degree. So when we add plus 273, so they all have two opposite signs, so they will cancel to each other and we will get the 0 Kelvin scale. Okay, so I hope you understand this all. So if you have any issue, you can ask the question. Okay. जी बेटे, if you have any question, you can ask me if there is any problem. जी बेटे, any issue? Hyder Abbas?
No, teacher.
No issue. Do you understand the lecture? Next is Amina
Yes.
Murtaza. Amina Murtaza, bete, any issue? Amina Murtaza. Any issue bete? Amina Shafiq. Fatima Kudus. Bete, do you understand the today's lecture?
Yes, teacher.
Any issue?
No.
Now tell me, what is the absolute zero?
The temperature at which the particles stop moving.
Yes. And which example I have given you?
A metal bar.
A
When a
metal.
metal bar is.
Yes. Good. Okay. Next one, Amna Murtaza. Amina Murtaza, bete, do you have any problem? Amina, no response. Amina Shafiq. Amina Shafiq, any issue? Any issue? Okay, I'm leaving the class. Allah Hafiz.